Okay, so I wanted to share with you a pretty neat book that I found. I actually saw this, first heard about this about 2 years ago from a YouTube mom. I don't know who it was, but anyway, she just kind of was holding up books that she was going to use. And the way she talked about it, I was interested in it, so I put it in my Amazon cart, and I've had it there for about 2 years. And I was at a Lifeway Christian bookstore, and it just happened to be there, and it was $13. And I looked in it, because before I couldn't seem to find any place to look inside of it. So I looked in it, and I really liked it, and I got it. It is by Tricia Gower, or Gower, or however you want to say that. It is titled Prayers That Changed History. From Christopher Columbus to Helen Keller, How God Used 25 People to Change the World. And this is what it says. You know, it is prayers and God. So, but it is really, really interesting. I've scanned through it, and I've only read 2 actual stories or people here, but I'm excited about it here. So here it gives you the historical figure. So the first lesson is on Polycarp. And no, it's not many fish. It's the name of a man. And it talks about his lifetime, the timeline, and what page number. And it does this for all of them. Constantine, St. Patrick of Ireland, and so on. I guess I can go through this. It talks about Oswald, King of Northumbria, Christopher Columbus, Martin Luther, Governor William Bradford, John Eliot, Susanna Wesley, John Newton, Robert Raikes, Mary Jones, Sojourner Truth, Catherine Booth, David Livingstone, Florence Nightingale, George Mueller, Billy Sunday, Helen Keller, Amy Carmichael, John Hyde, Mother Teresa, the British people of World War II, Carrie ten Boom, and Dietrich Bonhoeffer. That one I haven't read yet. I need to. Anyway, and it gives their timelines. Okay? So here's some information from the author. Here's an introduction, which I don't really ever read introductions. I just want to get to the book. But I read this, and it is worth reading. So the first chapter here is on Polycarp, and its subtitle is When Good Comes from Evil. So here's a picture of the man Polycarp. When he lived around 69 to 155 A.D. It says Polycarp would rather face death than worship a false god. And it kind of starts off, with the story. The sound of men's shouts filled the air. And, so it kind of gets your attention. Instead of being more of a textbook, it's more of a story page here. And down here, in these next 2 pages. And there are 8 pages in chapter 1. Alright. So, basically, Polycarp was a Christian. At 86 years old, he was burned alive because he would not give a little bit of incense to the governor. He said, I'm not going to do that. That would be worshiping a false god and be breaking the first commandment. So, they burned him alive. And while that was happening, he said this prayer. And so in this shaded box, they give you the prayers to people of what they said. So this is Polycarp's prayer. And a person that was watching this, he heard Polycarp praying this, so he was writing it down. And then, so this is the end right here. And then it talks about, sometimes Jesus asks us to give everything. And then it kind of gives us something to think about in this section. And then the next section is titled Something to Think About. So it gives us something to think about, and then we can also talk about it. And then here are Jesus' words that would kind of refer back to the story. And now here is how Polycarp had changed history. By saying that prayer that he said while he was burning. Oh, goodness. Anyway, by him saying that and that person writing it down, that prayer was passed around and passed down. So by him doing that, more people were being encouraged to not back down. More people were standing up for the Christian faith and for God, and they were standing on their beliefs. So that is how he changed history. Just from his prayer changed history. People were, they stood up for their faith, and they became encouraged. And then the last section, I believe, nope, not the last section. Okay, so then the next section is titled, It's in the Bible. And then it talks about Stephen, who was, I believe he was a martyr for God. I thought he was the first one. I don't remember now. But anyway, so, it talks about him, and over here it still talks about Stephen. But this is all, blends perfectly with Polycarp's story. And now it's talking about your life. And then it tells us that sometimes God brings good from evil for His glory. And that would be the end of that one. And then chapter 2 is on Constantine. And I'm just going to flip through some pages here, and you can see there's his prayer, how he changed history. It's in the Bible. So these are all laid out the same. And the next one is St. Patrick's of Ireland. And that's a really good story, by the way. St. Patrick is. Okay. But anyway, that's how this book is. It's all laid out the same sections, just different people. But you could use this as a Bible study. Bible people or Christian study in place of your Bible curriculum if you wanted to. Maybe do a chapter a week, or just character study, or just throw it in with your history. Anyway, I'm very happy that I got it. Okay, back. Yeah. Okay. The back here has some notes. It tells you kind of where they got their information from. You can see it's a pretty long section of, they consulted many resources, it looks like. Or she did. Okay. And it's Zonder Kids. And this is the back of it. One prayer, your prayer can change everything. Like I said, I just wanted to share that with you.